Okay, this video we're going to kind of introduce you to some drawings and how to do the detailed part drawings in Inventor. So we're going to start with the U bracket that you previously created. So go ahead and open it up, and then to start a drawing, uh, I I totally recommend that instead of hitting the pull down here, that you hit the blank page for new file, and then you can choose your template. Because eventually you're going to be working on a metric and it's going to default to English, or you'll be working in English and it'll default to metric. So I recommend you hit the new file button, and then you can choose your part that you want. And we want the ANSI inch IDW. That's the inventor drawing files. And so we'll go create and let that run for just a moment while it loads. Okay. Now, some versions of the software downloaded, it defaulted to a C size. This version, it's defaulting to a D size. The next release, that may change. It doesn't really matter. But let's look over here in the browser window. We got drawing one. That's what we got going here. Uh, Once we save the file, that'll change. The file name will change. So if we expand the sheet one, that's what we've got right here. We got a default border and an ANSI large title block. And then field text are pre-formatted things that will appear in there. Now, if we click on drawing resources here, we can change our sheet size based on views, and it will automatically place the views for the part file that we have open already, or we can specify that part file either way. So let's just play with this a little bit. Let's go with a B size 2 view. There we go. Now it's asking for my part file. That's what I've got open. Okay, and so it added it in there, but you see the views are kind of overlapping and the size, and it just chose a front and a side view. Well, that may not be what I really want. So I'm going to undo that. But if we go to C size, see it pulls in our 3 orthographic views and an isometric view. Now, most of the drawings that we do in Inventor are going to be C-size sheets. Some of them we will change to different sizes, but most of them will be a C-size sheet. But for this one, that's not what we're going to use. So let's go back again. All right, now I really don't want to use a D-size sheet. I want to use a B-size, but I don't want the views that they give me right there. Well, before we change, borders, all we got are default. You can create new borders and put in there. Title block, that comes with 2, an ANSI large and an ANSI A size. If I don't like the one that I have, I can right click over here and delete it, and then double click the other one and insert it. So a lot of A size sheets, we will change this to an ANSI A instead of the ANSI large. Okay. Another thing we can do here is we can right click on the sheet and go edit sheet. We can name it. We can change the size here, which I'm going to change to a B size. And we can change the orientation of it and the location of the title bar. All right, so I changed that down to a B size sheet. Now I want to place my view. So I go base, and it pulls in the drawing file that I have open, and it sets the scale. So we'll leave that okay, right? And you see, as I move my mouse around, it's picking up a couple of different views, okay? And so I can go ahead and move it around and place those views. I'm going to escape out of that for just a minute and go back. If you don't like the orientation you have here, you can come to the view cube and change your orientation of your base view. Now, most of the time, it's going to bring in whatever you've used as the front view when you created the part file. So let's go ahead and place a front view, two sides, and an isometric. And then we'll OK to continue that. Now that puts them in there at different sizes than the scale that I want. And now that I think about it a little bit, let's move this one over. I don't really want a right side view. So I can right click on it and I can delete that view. Delete view, yes, okay. I want to change the scale of this. I could have done that when I was inserting it. I could have changed it, but I'm going to change it now. So I'm going to go edit view. And I want to set it to full size, 1:1. And notice it changed the top view also. Okay, so if I come select the top view and right click and go edit view, this checkbox right here scales it from the base view. So if I need to change one of my projected views, the scale of it, I can uncheck that box right there. A couple of things while we're here in the drawing view, in the edit view, let's go to display options. If you have threads in your model, you need to check this box so that it shows the threads. Align to base means it's lined up orthographically. We can uncheck that and can move it, especially with a section view. We may want to move that view over. So that's just showing you those things there. So component, we're all good with that. So we'll just cancel that. Now our isometric view is still at a half size. We could leave it like that. It kind of fits up there okay. We can change the scale of it. Maybe I don't really like any of those, so I can do my own. I can just type in 3/4. Okay, and a lot of times with ISOs, these boxes here shows hidden lines. It's solid, no hidden lines. Or here we can go shaded, and I tend to go solid and shaded on isometric views. It tends to look better when you got your part, colored based on whatever material type is going on with it. Now, Inventor, you can retrieve dimensions from your model. So if we come over here, right click on this, retrieve dimensions. Some of the CAD learning videos will show that. I usually do not do this because it tends to complicate things and it puts dimensions where I don't really want them. And it just seems to add another step to it. So I usually don't do the model dimension retrieval. The steps that I would take on this, well, before we go any further, let's go ahead and do our title block. And where I want to go is I want to go to iProperties. And here I want to fill these things in. So on the summary, the title will be the name of the part. Okay, and our name is U-bracket. Okay. If your name is not showing up right, see how it's showing up right there as whatever is installed in the defaults of the program. This is what's going to show up in the title bar under Drawn By. And in company, will be Chattahoochee Technical College. These are the main things you want to do in your iProperties because it will fill in your title block. Okay. Now, drawing number, that is going to be the file name that you save your file as. So I'm going to go ahead and go save, and it's putting it back into there. And since I don't have a drawing number on this one, I'm just going to leave it at U-bracket. And see there, it filled that in. So I don't have to add any text into my title block right now. And I'm going to stop this video right now, and then we'll pick up in just a moment.